Welcome to Cinema Scope, your one-stop destination for every news and update from the world of cinema. I'm your host Jyotika. We will bring you right from filmy gossip to new releases, and we bring you every aspect of Indian cinema. So what are we waiting for? Let's start the fun. Well, Prabhas and Shraddha Kapoor starrer Saho is one of the highly anticipated movie of the year. A man uses an arsenal of weapons to battle a gang of heavily armed thugs in the city. With the city under fire and people's lives at risk, the one man has to give everything he has got to take the city back. Now, movie, apart from the story, has Bahubali starrer Prabhas, who is the real catch of the film.
पिछले हफ्ते मुंबई में 2000 करोड़ की चोरी हुई है। सूत्रों के अनुसार पुलिस के पास अभी तक कोई लीड्स नहीं है।
We should be ashamed of ourselves.
Much awaited film Saho hit theatres this week. Bahubali star Prabhas and Shraddha Kapoor are the leads.
Amrita Nair, Crime Branch. उसका अगला प्लान क्या होगा?
The story is about a power battle which is taking place in the higher echelons of power, unrelated and unconnected episodes occurring in different parts of the globe, intertwined in an unforeseen manner to a revelation of mind games.
The black box. वो अगर हमें मिल जाए तो I'll be a freaking billionaire.
Violence ज़्यादा हो गया. You know something like
romance?
Romance हो में.
The story delves the audience into the game of a brilliant mastermind to reveal the true nature of all that are involved. It challenges the perceptions of who is the hunter and who the hunted.
दोनों एक दूसरे के मोहताज हैं और एक साथ रह भी नहीं सकते.
इसे कहते हैं मास्टर स्ट्रोक, सिक्सर.
गली क्रिकेट में तो सब तेंदुलकर है. असली टैलेंट वो होता है जो भरे मैदान के बाहर सिक्सर मार सके.
It blends in a thrilling story with commercial elements of storytelling to deliver a high-octane action entertainer appealing to all segments of the audience.
The hunt is on, true aim is clear, my prey will be coming. Bang, bang, I'm in motion.
तुम्हें यहाँ मार के कोई फायदा नहीं, क्योंकि सब यहाँ है.
Well, on to the Hollywood releases now. Diane Kruger plays an Israeli intelligence recruit by Martin Freeman as her handler, thrown together again when she resurfaces after going underground in writer-director Yuval Adler's espionage thriller, The Operative.
I couldn't sleep that night. I remember thinking I'm all alone. And then I realized I had nothing to hide. There you are.
When they assigned her to me, it was my idea to send her to Iran, get her into the nuclear division. Her cover, an English and French teacher.
The Operative is now available in select theatres and on demand, written and directed by Yuval Adler.
She had no idea.
I'm Rachel. What do you do?
Haven't you learned not to ask questions like that?
The film is based on the novel The English Teacher by Yiftach Reischer Atir. Atir was an intelligence officer suggesting that perhaps The Operative could be a realistic, authentic examination of modern-day espionage and spy work packaged in a compelling thriller. Unfortunately, the end results fall short of those aspirations. The Operative is a bland and convoluted affair that struggles to keep the audience engaged and leaves minimal impact during its runtime.
Understand.
Follow your protocols, assuming you know everything. But you don't.
This is war, and in war, people die.
pulling me out?
No.
4 teenage divers discovered that the sunken ruins of a Mayan city are also a hunting ground for deadly great white sharks. With their air supply steadily dwindling, the frightened girls must navigate the underwater labyrinth of claustrophobic caves and eerie tunnels in search of a way out of their watery hell. Now that would be 47 meters down, uncaged.
Hey, I almost forgot to show you guys what I found this morning.
See great white sharks in their natural habitat. This is for tourists. You really want to spend all day on a boat?
I am going to take you to a place that no tourist would ever find in a million years.
47 Meters Down, Uncaged is a 2019 survival horror film directed by Johannes Robert and written by Roberts and Ernest Riera.
Sasha, you can barely get your ass through there.
Well, at least I have an ass.
The entrance is just at the bottom of the steps. You guys ready for this?
Oh, this place is insane.
What is that? It's an emergency alarm. Can you feel that? Courage! I'm slipping! Help!
The sequel to 47 Meters Down, 2017, the film has a long list of stars.
You don't have a choice! You have to go back down! Nobody made it.
4 teenage girls scuba diving in a ruined underwater city find themselves in a watery hell as their adventure turns to horror when they learn they are not alone. In the submerged caves, as they swim deeper into the claustrophobic labyrinth, they enter the territory of the deadliest shark species in the ocean.
Slipping into a short break, we'll be right back. Keep watching CinemaScope.
A quick look at the day's top news. 100 big stories from across the country and the world in just 30 minutes. Watch Express News Monday to Friday, 7 p.m. only on DD India.
Venice International Film Festival, one of the most prestigious and famous film festivals of the world. Now, before going into the details as to what is happening latest this time, let's take a look at the history of this festival first.
The Venice International Film Festival, founded in 1932, predates the other two film festivals that are often referred to as the Big Three. The Cannes Film Festival began in 1939 but had only one festival before World War II interrupted it until 1946. The Berlin International Film Festival is a relative newcomer, premiering in 1951. This year marks the film festival's 73rd edition and is part of the Venice Biennale, which was founded by the Venetian City Council in 1895. Today, the festival includes a range of separate events, including the International Art Exhibition, the International Festival of Contemporary Music, the International Theatre Festival, the International Architecture Exhibition, the International Festival of Contemporary Dance, the International Kids Carnival, and the annual Venice Film Festival, the best known of all of the events. The film festival now takes place at the end of August and into September on the island of Lido in Venice. Major screenings take place in the historic Palazzo del Cinema on the Lungomare, Marconi, and other screenings take place in other venues nearby. Since its inception, the film festival has become the most prestigious international film festival in the world. The first edition of the Venice Film Festival took place from August 6 to 21st in 1932. But given the now traditional vacation time of Ferragosto, it was deemed prudent to create this world-class event to finish the summer. Giuseppe Volpi, who came up with the idea of the film festival, is credited to be the president of the Venice Biennale, Conte Giuseppe Volpi di Misurata, and to Luciano Di Fau, who was the very first director-selector. It was the first international event of its type and received strong support from the powers in Rome. The first edition of this annual event was held on the terrace of the Hotel Excelsior on the Lido. The first festival was not a competitive event. The very first film to be shown in the history of the festival was Ruben Mamoulian's Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, which hit the screen on August 6, 1932. The second edition was held 2 years later from August 1st to 20th in 1934. For the first time, it included a competition. 19 countries took part with over 300 journalists attending. The Mussolini Cup was introduced for Best Foreign Film and Best Italian Film. However, there was no actual jury. Instead, the awards were assigned by the president of the Biennale after listening to the opinions provided by both experts and audiences alike. Other awards were the Great Gold Medals of the National Fascist Association for Entertainment to Best Actor and Actress. The prize of Best Foreign Film went to Robert J. Flaherty's Man of Aaron and began the tendency of the festival of to select films that were so strongly influenced by its filmmaker as to be thought of as to be authored by them. Starting in 1935, the festival became a yearly event under the direction of Ottavio Croce. The Actors Award was renamed Volpi Cup. In 1936, an international jury was nominated for the first time. The 1940s represent one of the most difficult decades to review for the festival. The conclusion of the Second World War divided the decade in two. Political pressures mounted in the later 1930s and distorted the real meaning of the festival. During World War II, the situation degenerated to a point where the events held in 1940 to 1942 tend to be ignored when examining the rich history of the festival. Conducted far from Lido, only a few countries participated. The only institutions and directors that were allowed to submit films were those that were members of the Rome-Berlin axis. After these disastrous years, the festival resumed in 1946, marking the first time that the festival was held during the month of September, and was based upon an agreement with the newly resumed Cannes Film Festival, which had just held its first review in the spring of that year. With that, Venice once again became a great icon of the film world. In 1947, the festival was held at the Doge's Palace. The 1979 edition laid the foundation for the restoration of international prestige. In an attempt to create a more modern image of the festival, the director created a committee of experts to assist in selecting the works and to increase the diversity of submissions. This year, the 73rd Annual Venice International Film Festival is scheduled to be held from August 31st to September 10th. Why won the Oscar for Best Foreign Language Film? It was Sorrentino's second English language film. His newest is among the most highly anticipated of the year and the festival. Venice remains one of the premier destinations in Italy, with its beauty, history, setting, culture and events which have few rivals on the planet. During the month of September, weather is ideal and creates a perfect venue for this internationally renowned event.
Slipping into a short break, we'll be right back. Keep watching CinemaScope.
A quick look at the day's top news. 100 big stories from across the country and the world in just 30 minutes. Watch Express News Monday to Friday, 7 p.m. only on DD India.
The 76th Venice International Film Festival is organized by La Biennale di Venezia and will take place at Venice Lido from August 28th to September 7th, 2019. The festival is officially recognized by the FIAPF. The aim of the festival is to raise awareness and promote international cinema in all its forms as art, entertainment and as an industry in a spirit of freedom and dialogue. What more exciting we have this time? Let's take a look.
It may be the oldest film festival in the world, but at 76, the Venice International Film Festival is more relevant than ever. Kicking off its edition on 28 August, the festival in recent years has widely earned recognition to screen films which unusually stick out in Academy nominations several months later. The list of top 21st Century Academy Award winners making their world premieres in Venice includes Spotlight, Birdman and The Shape of Water, plus enormous global successes on the order of Gravity and La La Land. Among the high-profile films debuting in competition for the prestigious Golden Lion, which last year went to Alfonso Cuarón's Roma, veteran actor Julie Andrews, star of classic movies like Mary Poppins and The Sound of Music, will be honored with the Golden Lion for Lifetime Achievement at the 76th edition. Oscar-winning Spanish director Pedro Almodóvar will also receive the Honorary Lion for life's work. Filmmaker Lucrecia Martel has been announced as a jury president of the 2019 festival. The Venice Film Festival 2019 will take place from the 28th of August to 7th of September.
The Amazon forest fire breakout is in all news these days. Well, people from all over the world are coming forward with their help, including Hollywood actor Leonardo DiCaprio.
Climate change is real. It is happening right now. It is the most urgent threat facing our entire species, and we need to work collectively together and stop procrastinating. We need to support leaders around the world who do not speak for the big polluters or the big corporations, but who speak for all of humanity, for the indigenous people of the world, for the billions and billions of underprivileged people who will be most affected by this.
Earth Alliance, an environmental group co-founded by Leonardo DiCaprio, has announced over the weekend that it will donate $5 million to help combat the fires currently ravaging the Amazon rainforest. The Leonardo DiCaprio Foundation has funded more than 200 projects since it was founded in 1998, awarding $100 million in grants to 132 organizations across 50 countries. The initial monetary commitment will help focus critical resources on the key protections needed to maintain the lungs of the planet. Earth Alliance explained in a post encouraging members of the public to donate as well.
There's a major tragedy going on in the world, worldwide, because of climate change, forest fires, and what's going on in the Amazon, which is really the lungs of the earth, is vital to protecting us in the future.
These funds will be distributed directly to local partners and the indigenous communities protecting the Amazon, the incredible diversity of wildlife that lives there, and the health of the planet overall, the group said. DiCaprio announced the aid package on Instagram and said the lungs of the earth are in flames. The Brazilian Amazon, home to 1 million indigenous people and 3 million species, has been burning for more than 2 weeks straight. He has come forward for environment-related projects earlier as well.
Well, time to wind up, guys. Hope you all have loved this show as much as I loved bringing it to you. This is your host and host Jyotika Grover signing off until next week. Well, this is CinemaScope and let's keep rolling. Take care.
मैं पल दो पल का शायर हूँ कल और आएंगे नगमों की खिलती कलियां चुनने वाले मुझसे बेहतर कहने वाले तुमसे बेहतर सुनने वाले कल कोई मुझको याद करे क्यों कोई मुझको याद करे मसरूफ ज़माना मेरे लिए क्यों वक्त अपना बर्बाद करे मैं पल दो पल का शायर हूँ